Well, I'm back. Here we are. It is about 3 weeks into our pandemic, and we are all hunkered down, hopefully. And today we're going to be talking about uh, paranoia running amok in the streets and television. It's there, it's always been there. And now's a good time to address that because there's a lot of finger pointing going on right now, a lot of theories, and a lot of blame. And I don't know what good that's going to do anyone besides acknowledging what's going on. That's the truth of it. Um, so this is part two, pandemic TV. We're off. We're off the syllabus right now. We're running free. This is a new day. I'm going to be presenting these lectures every couple days because they're only going to be 15 minutes long or so. You're not trapped in the classroom for an hour and a half as I drone on and on about how bad my coffee was that this morning. So I'm going to be doing these short 10, 15-minute videos often, a couple times a week. You guys have to check in with them. You need to check in with them. Watch them on your whatever devices you have. You know how to watch this stuff. That's what we do now. We watch everything. So now you're watching this. So the thing today is normally I would cover a great television series that was a great thriller that was came out in the 90s called 24. It'd be great if you read that chapter. It's chapter 9. It tells you about how the culture is changing television. And that's what's happening right now. Television is going to get way changed, big time. And they're going to start mirroring, they already have for the last couple of years, these kind of strange times we're living in. And you see it in a lot of new streaming shows. I think you're going to see it more now, which is too bad. But that's what we do. That's what the culture does. TV reflects the culture, and then the culture looks at TV and they kind of see themselves in it, hopefully, and get some kind of truth out of it. But today we're going to talk. I'm going to assign an assignment. You're going to have to write an essay. So look at the assignments. I won't post it probably till tomorrow, but you'll have a week to do it like normal. It's just going to be different days of the week because there's no more Monday and Wednesday classes. We're kind of in this going all the way, and we're going to be mixing it up pretty good. But I'll give you the same amount of time to do the essays, and the essays will be critical essays. Like before, I'll give you hints what to write about. You know what I'm looking about. We've done 4 or 5 essays now, and by now you should know what we're looking for, what I'm looking for in the essay. Critical thinking, making sense of it all, not just telling me, regurgitating the plot, or give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, or if you think it's lousy or if it's corny or whatever. I don't care about any of that. I want your critical analysis of the material you're looking at. And that means you got to think on a little deeper level. What's really going on? What's the story telling us? What is the script trying to convey? Is it doing a good job at it? What are the performances trying to convey? Are they doing a reliable job out of it? Are they convincing? Is the direction giving us what we need? Is it exciting? Is it boring? Should it be exciting? Should it be boring? What is boring? What's exciting? We all have different variations of that, right? I don't need a lot to get excited over. Mostly intellectual conversation of people who are thinking excites me over people who are hitting people or shooting people or running around the streets like crazy. But that can be exciting to watch also. Not so much excitement to live through. And that's why I want to recommend the show to watch for this essay. It came out a couple of years ago. It's based on a Stephen King novel called The Stand. And maybe you've read of it. Maybe you've heard about it. They made a movie of it. Stephen King didn't like the movie, so they made a TV miniseries about it. And it came out several years ago. And so I will post this on the assignments. It's Stand by Stephen King. It's episode 1. It's Plague Years, The Plague, episode 1. It's like a 90-minute episode. It's on YouTube. It's free. You'll be able to see it there at your own leisurely time, and then start writing your notes. What's it about? What are you seeing? Does it make sense? Is it look like it could actually happen? Now, it's an extreme example of what could happen, but things are extreme right now. If you've been keeping up on what's going on in our environment right now, there are very extreme things going on. The people in the Stand of the movie, there's lots and lots of panicky gun violence. We're not there yet. We could get there. Paranoia could bring on anything. And that's why a great series like 24 really delved into the paranoid times. Yes, there's a reason to be paranoid. It's not baseless, but there's a lot of disinformation out there. And now that we have the wonderful World Wide Web and the internet, there's a lot of people who are putting out lots of information that's essentially wrong. And then there are people who believe that information, and then the people who don't. And then you got to sift through it to find out the truth. It's not easy. And then and then we have world leaders, and some people go proactive, and some people go passive, and some people say it's a hoax, and some people say open your eyes. That's the times we're living in. And so when you look at this episodes of this series called The Stand, maybe you've seen it. It was very popular a couple years ago, but now you have to rewrite that episode and write about it critically. So I will put that assignment. It'll be posted by tomorrow in your assignments. Why don't you go ahead and read chapter 9 anyway? That shows about 24 to give you a little insight to political climates and how they dictate our opinion, and how it pits people against each other. People have an opinion, and then other people have an opposing opinion, and the conflict starts. We're still arguing over the Vietnam War, my lovely war. We didn't argue too much over my father's war. It was supposedly the good war. And we're definitely arguing over the wars that are going on right now. But now, folks, the wars have come here. And yes, we're not fighting a dictator from a different country. We are fighting an unseen entity, which is even more terrifying. Some sort of virus that is taking a lot of us down, closing up the economy. And to give you how strong this closure is in our economy, and I know a lot of you are feeling it right now because you have jobs that you've been laid off. Not all of us could go online and keep our incomes coming in. I don't know how long this will last, but I've been teaching online at another college for 15 years, and so I'm kind of used to the online. And maybe a lot of you aren't, but now this is the new world. Shasta College isn't coming back this semester in the class. This is it, folks. And we don't know when it's going to open up. Just keep your fingers crossed, and hopefully we'll be in a classroom together again one day. If not, this is the new world order. We're watching more videos and streaming more movies, and we're spending more time on screens than ever before. It's like I saw a joke in the New Yorker magazine, and it said, "The screen's won." You know how they always tell us, put your phone down, take a walk, tell your kids to put the iPads down, get them on the playgrounds, go to a restaurant, socialize, forget online dating, meet somebody face to face. Well, folks, none of that's happening right now. The screen's won. But we're going to fight back. Hopefully, we're going to fight back. And but until that, we're going to embrace the screen, because this is a screen-based class. You're going to be watching me on screen. I'm sorry I can't see all you. Um, I miss your smiling, lively faces, and our connection we have in the classroom, which we're not having now, obviously. When this is all over, we can all meet somewhere, as long as we're 6 feet apart, and talk over good times. But until then, we got to get through this class the best way we can. I'm going to try to make it as lively and as interesting as I possibly can for not just you, but for myself also. And it's a new ball game. And so we're broken field running right now into the unknown, but we're going to control it. We're not going to be, it's not going to be chaos. It's going to have some control, and you're going to be educated because that's what this is all about, is getting educated. And I'll repeat it until I'm in my grave, but knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have, the more power you have. And if you want to go through your life and everyone has the power over you because they have more knowledge, you've got to get the knowledge. And that's what we're doing here. Hopefully, we can convey some knowledge to this class. Yes, it's a television class, but folks, television is now our number one import of knowledge. We're watching, I had you guys, hopefully you watch those, haven't looked at the discussions yet. I've had you watching the nightly late night talk show hosts. They're all broadcasting from their house. The news programs are having to figure out how to do this thing. There are people getting sick. Famous people are getting sick. Whether you watch CNN or not, but Cuomo, who has his show, he's got the virus now. And there are people on both networks, Fox and CNN, are getting the virus. This thing doesn't know any politics. It just knows victims and people who aren't necessarily the cliche victim, old person that's in ill health. It's attacking lots of young people. A great band from the 90s, Fountains of Wayne, the guy who co-wrote all the songs. Maybe you know them. They're pretty big, Fountains of Wayne. He died today at 52 years old of the virus. And so it's taking people, it doesn't matter how old you are. Don't think because you're a millennial or Generation Z or whatever the new one is, Alpha A, whatever that is, you're not off the hook. We're all in this together. In that happy note, I don't want to make this too long because I don't want you guys to just stare at my weird paintings. And that's a new painting. I'm going to put up a new painting every day so you'll see something. Someone said in a comment, "What does that all mean?" Well, this is what I'll ask you. What do you think it means? Anyway, so go look at that episode of Stand. I'm going to post it. Keep the conversation going. Don't make me keep prompting you to look at the internet and Canvas. Get in there every day at least. I'm making announcements. There are going to be assignments. Sometimes there'll be none. And then that's great. And other times there'll be stuff to do, like today. And I'm going to probably do another one of these videos because I wanted to talk about the zombie apocalypse, which we're living through right now. And what do you think that's all about? What makes a zombie? We're making, who knows? Why are we so obsessed with zombies on television? Maybe you've seen the series and the TV shows. Why does this obsession come at this point in time in our culture? Why weren't we looking at this stuff in the 90s or even the early 2000s or the 80s? Because the culture was something else in those days. And so this culture is ripe for germ warfare. It's ripe for paranoid times. It's ripe for the Walking Dead. It's ripe for zombies. It wasn't, we wouldn't have zombies in the 70s when we had Mary Tyler Moore and Bob Newhart and MASH. And we don't have those shows now, which is too bad. in my opinion. Once again, television is reflecting what's going on in the culture. And right now, what's going on in the culture is exactly the Stephen King miniseries that came out a couple years ago. But it's very relevant. It's a different plague. It's more visceral and a lot more violent, and the society is crumbling. But who knows what the future holds? It's unknown right now. Anyway, on that happy note, keep watching, keep reading, keep exploring, keep questioning everything. Don't take no for an answer without a good explanation. I hope you guys are faring well through this. I know it's a big hassle. I see some of you students when I go to the market, uh, and everybody's concerned about graduating, trying to get the credits. We're going to get you through this thing. We're all coming through this thing together. We'll make it. Anyway, on that note, remember everything that we're living through right now is the cycle of our existence, and it's culminating what we've sort of have to face now, which is better clean our stuff up. We better get rid of the plastics in the oceans that's killing whales and sea life like never before. We better look what we're doing and pay attention, because people are dying now, and and getting sick. So we all know what's going on. Stay informed and stay smart. And I will see you when television and the story continues. Peace. Thanks.